Can you believe it? Over 2,000 years ago, there was an emperor so extra that he thought he needed an entire army of clay soldiers to guard him in the afterlife. Yeah, it sounds a bit over the top, but hey, let me ask you this. Who wouldn't want their own personal army saluting them every morning, right? Today, I'm taking you on a journey to unravel the mystery of this terracotta army. How did each statue end up looking so unique and badass? Why didn't they just copy-paste the designs to save time? And most importantly, is there really a river of mercury in the tomb? Or was that just ancient PR hype? Now buckle up, because we're diving into the world of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, where ambition, power, and a dash of delusion created one of the greatest wonders of human history. Let's go! Imagine living in the 3rd century BC, a time when China was split into pieces and every kingdom thought it was the final boss. Then from the mountaintop, a man emerges, Qin Shi Huang, a ruler with ambitions as massive as Mount Everest, who might have unified the Milky Way too if he'd had the chance. Qin Shi Huang was no ordinary guy. While most of us were still struggling to solve math homework at his age, he was wiping out rival states and unifying all of China. He turned a chaotic mess into a machine smoother than a Formula One engine. But wait, there's more. Why is he called the King of Big Dreams? Because he didn't just want to rule this world, he wanted to dominate the afterlife too. So he decided to build a tomb, not just any tomb, but a super-galactic project with rivers of mercury, an artificial sky, and an army of terracotta soldiers standing straighter than a presidential honor guard. For Qin Shi Huang, death wasn't the end. It was just a vacation to another world, and he was preparing for it like he was about to have his coronation all over again. So how did he turn this insane vision into reality? Was the massive tomb and the terracotta army truly the key to his immortality? The story is just getting started. Now imagine being a sculptor over 2,000 years ago. Your boss, Qin Shi Huang, says, "I want an army for the afterlife. It has to be cool, it has to be epic, and oh yeah, every single statue must be unique." Wait, unique? Were other kings this picky while still alive? This terracotta army has over 8,000 statues. Yes, 8,000. Which means if you line them up, you could host a full-on fashion show called Warring States Warrior Couture, longer than any Victoria's Secret runway. The collection includes infantry, archers, generals, war horses, and chariots. Each soldier and horse is uniquely crafted. Faces, hairstyles, even wrinkles. So detailed you might wonder, what kind of ancient Photoshop were they using back then? The statues were made from clay and then fired at high temperatures, creating immortal warriors standing between 1.8 and 2 meters tall. By the way, the average height back then was around 1.6 meters, so these weren't just soldiers. They were literal supermodels of the terracotta world. And they didn't just stand there looking pretty. The army was organized into formations, infantry standing tall, archers striking Olympic-ready poses, and generals looking like they're about to snap a selfie with the caption, "Ruling today, immortal tomorrow." Even the war horses are so majestic you'd think, what kind of royal oats were they eating? Over 2,000 years ago, without machines or 3D printing, they still managed to create this entire army. Talk about having not just vision, but also God-tier craftsmanship. Honestly, if Qin Shi Huang were alive today, he'd probably dominate the global wax figure industry. So, while the terracotta army has been discovered, and everyone's still in awe of how cool they look, hold on a second. There's still a huge mystery no one dares to touch. And no, it's not about what Qin Shi Huang ate for breakfast. The big deal is the main chamber, where his actual tomb is, which is still completely off limits. But why hasn't anyone dug it up yet? It's not because they're lazy, it's because they're more scared than you are when you haven't done your homework and the teacher's announcing grades. One of the main reasons is that current preservation technology isn't strong enough to maintain whatever's inside. So if they just open it up carelessly, the whole room could vanish in the blink of an eye like some magic trick. And there's another reason that's even scarier. Mercury pools. Yes, not a swimming pool, but mercury. You're probably thinking, what, like some action movie stuff? But the truth is, researchers believe there might be a huge mercury pool inside to protect the emperor from intruders. And yeah, if you're not careful, you could end up having a bad day with that toxic substance. That's why no one's rushing in there. So what's waiting inside that mysterious chamber? Maybe treasures of gold, silver, and jewels. Or perhaps another army, still sleeping, waiting for the day to rise again? Or some ancient technology we've never seen before? Who knows, but just thinking about it makes you want to go there yourself, with a face mask and a full hazmat suit. Qin Shi Huang wasn't just a king, he was a cultural genius in the eyes of Chinese history. He reformed everything, and he wanted to make everything more elite. If something wasn't changed yet, well, he was ready to take action. You probably didn't know, but before he ascended the throne, China was like a chaotic mess of different fonts, where each region had its own writing style, like everyone using their own personal font. So Qin Shi Huang thought big. He insisted on having a unified script for the entire country. That's when the small seal script was born, a style of writing that today, if you see it, you'd think it's the most professional handwriting for calligraphy collections. But that's not all. He was also the one who built the transportation empire of China. You think China just has high-speed trains now? Not at all. Qin Shi Huang created a vast transportation system with roads, bridges, and canals connecting all parts of the country. If he were alive in the 21st century, he'd definitely be invited to be the CEO of Google Maps, creating a nationwide transport platform. And of course, let's not forget the Great Wall of China. It wasn't for gardening, you know. It was to fend off enemies. A monumental project so massive that if you haven't walked along it, it's like you've never checked in Chinese history. Qin didn't just build a wall, he built a top-tier protective fortress for the nation. So from creating a unified script for the entire country
a real
to building
warrior.
a transportation
I think it's
system
really
that even
important
Google
in the context.
Qin Shi Huang made China a connected and powerful empire. If he were alive today, he'd definitely be the CEO of everything. The Terracotta Army tomb today isn't just where you can see those majestic clay warriors. It's also where you can time travel on foot. Just don't expect to stumble upon a treasure room like in the movies. Everything here is precious, and if you're not careful, you might just get into trouble. The tomb is now protected like your favorite item on sale online. The main excavation areas have been turned into modern museums that are not that easy to get into. But don't worry, you can still admire those terracotta warriors standing in line like models at a fashion show in Qin Shi Huang's personal runway. A few things to keep in mind during your visit. Don't try touching the statues. These guys may be standing still, but they're not action figures. If you invade their personal space, don't blame them if they ruin their vibe. You'll regret it. Also, wear comfortable shoes. This isn't the place for stilettos or flip-flops. The tomb isn't a runway, it's an exploration marathon. And don't forget your water and sunscreen. Even after 2,000 years, Qin Shi Huang can't stop the sun from blazing down on you. Lastly, take it slow. Don't rush to ask, when will they open the secret chamber? Or, are these warriors really immortal? The answers will only come when you actually take the time to enjoy every step of this epic journey.